Hey Cancer, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. Take what works, leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your wavelength or storyline on this reading, check your other major placements. And we're going to start with the Oracle decks, Moonology, and Work Your Light for an intuitive vibe. And then we'll move on to the Tarot of Mystical Moments for a more traditional spread. And if you haven't already, please do click that subscribe button because it helps other people find the channel and makes me happy. Seriously? Well, that is a lot. So we're going to try to take this out. Oh my goodness. 6 of them. What? It all happened so fast. Oh my goodness. Okay. I love all of these. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, well, let's start with the best news. Full moon in Libra, a win-win outcome is forecast. So something's going to come to fruition, or gonna end, or come full circle, yep, and it's going to be great. It's going to be good for everybody. This is a compromise where nobody feels like they compromised. Everybody feels like they won. So there's a good outcome coming towards you. Whatever situation you're dealing with is going to turn out okay, and everyone's going to be happy about it. That's cool. And then we have, well, this one's kind of confusing because we have Cardinal Moon, be bold, make the first move. This could just be planning something or bringing up a conversation, talking about something. It doesn't necessarily mean be rash or be brash. This means just be bold, start going towards the thing that you want. You may have to initiate something. Initiate even just in the planning stages. That's still initiation. You're already doing it though. So that's what we have here. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. There's something that you want. It's going to turn out great. But you need to move towards it. But I think you've already planned for it. You've already thought a lot about it. And it's time to make some movement forward. Then we have play, celebrate, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. So we have play here. This can also mean like just going towards what you want and not being too overly concerned with the outcome. Not trying to game the system or figure out the outcome and then reverse engineer it or try to get a certain response. Just because what we have here is full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. So being just honest about who you are, about what you want, about the direction you want to go in, just bringing that forward, being bold with that, being clear with that, and not being really detached from the outcome. Just bring in the real you. This could be a conversation. You are already doing it though, but just continue to be who you are and to be honest about who you are, be clear about who you are, and be clear about what you want. And detach from the outcome. That means we're not trying to, maybe we want someone to say yes to us or we want a positive outcome, but overthinking can get in the way of that, trying to figure out how to get the best outcome. Sometimes the best outcome is going to become from you just putting yourself out there. Let the chips fall where they may. We also have new moon in Aquarius, bring love into the situation, or just emotions. Communicate very clearly how you really feel about something. There is a win-win outcome forecast. We have 3 air signs represented here, so we could be talking about communication, ideas. With Aquarius, we're talking about communicating about emotions, showing the world the real you and bringing love or just your emotions into the situation. You're already doing something. Don't overthink it. It's time to move on it. You've probably thought enough about it. Detach from the outcome. Don't worry about a specific response or getting a specific response. Just be more concerned about what you're bringing to the situation, about who you are, about being honest about what you want, and about making your move and letting the chips fall where they may. Don't game the system. But this could also be celebrate when this win-win outcome comes in. Feel free to celebrate. I mean, don't save the good china or the champagne for some day way off in the future, something big enough. Even if it is a small thing to celebrate it. More celebration, more feeling good. Yes, that's what we want. All right, Cancer. What do we have? Okay, here's your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, your to-do list, your possible outcome. Oh boy, this is strange. A lot of strange stuff here. I'm not sure how this is all going to come together, this part. That part felt overwhelming at first, but then it all came together. So we'll see what happens here. We have the High Priestess in your recent past, not being able to see where things are going or why things are going the way they are or why things are turning out the way they are, not being able to understand because there are things going on behind the scenes. This is also about faith. This is also about believing in that there are things going on behind the scenes, that there are things that you can't see. But this is about having to make choices and decisions without knowing the outcome. This card too, right here, this play card. Because the making of the decisions and the choices that you make are part of the outcome. And so, so sometimes we're not shown an outcome or where something's going, or we don't have a lot of clarity or a lot of understanding of what's going on here because we can't know that. One, that's just a natural fact of the way time works in this situation. But also there's something here that you need to learn, something here that you need to understand, and you need to do that on your own. So this is a lot of like, I'm not telling you where you're going. I'm not telling you how this is going to turn out, because you have to make decisions on your own right here. You have to be bold. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be who you are and let the chips fall where they may. The High Priestess might know where the chips are going to fall, but she doesn't want you to know. So because there's something about that being bold and that action that needs to come from a place of not knowing, because that takes courage. That builds the courage muscle. If she were to tell you everything's going to be fine, which she sort of did, then it's a little less courage, right? It's a little less like, okay, if I know for sure what the outcome's going to be, if I play it like this, then I'll play it like that, right? But if you don't know for sure what the outcome's going to be, then it takes a lot more courage, a lot more, I wouldn't say strategizing, but there is a sense of looking at all the possible outcomes and all the possible ways, like, you know, playing chess and you play differently if you know you're going to win versus if you don't know if you're going to win, right? And so you're a little more careful if you don't know, or you think through all the possible outcomes, all the possible, if I move like this, how do they move? So we're talking a little bit about not strategizing so much, but also being open and understanding and seeing all the different ways that this can go and still shooting your shot, still making your move, even though you've really thought about all the different ways it can go. And you're open to all of those ways, and you understand that the consequences or the results of what you're doing are out of your control. 10 of Cups in your current situation. This confuses me sometimes as a current situation, because if you're in 10 of Cups, you don't need any tarot advice, but 10 of Cups can say that this is as happy and as good as the current situation is going to get. So 10 of Cups isn't necessarily about maximum happiness available to any human being that's ever existed. It can be talking about a current situation and that you've reached the maximum amount of happiness that that situation can provide for you. Is that enough? Do you like that amount? Or and also, happiness is really an inside job. Like, you can want something and achieve it, and then once you adjust to that achievement, you go back to your baseline, right? So what happens after you achieve it? Yeah, you're happy with that sense of, I accomplished something, I did this, I made something happen, but then what happens after that? You're still you. So that's why happiness has to be like an inside job, and it needs to be slightly untethered from your experiences, when at all possible. So 10 of Cups, though, there's maximum happiness here. There's that the situation allows. There's a connection that has been fruitful, that has been satisfying and fulfilling and enjoyable. There's some peace here. The waters are very calm right now. There's a calm, enjoyable stasis in a way. In your inner landscape, your hopes, fears, Queen of Wands. This could be someone you're thinking about, male or female, or this could be what an energy that you're thinking about, and this is someone who's confident in their own intuition. So you could be hoping to have more confidence in your own intuition. That's what the High Priestess has been asking you to do, is to have confidence in your own intuition, confidence that those things that you want, they want you to, that your desires have a purpose, that your desires have a point, and maybe you don't achieve that full desire, but the movement towards that builds you as a person and builds your character as you try to achieve things. So the Queen of Wands, though, you may be hoping for some sort of intuition, some sort of confidence in your intuition, an ability to draw things to you, the experiences that you want, the things that you desire, drawing them to you. I think we just talked about that. So the Queen of Wands, she's very secure in sort of a world of where things aren't 100% clear. She's secure, and she's capable of handling her intuition, of understanding when to act, when to withhold. She's confident in her feelings, in her sexuality, in her creativity. She really has a rich inner life, and she has confidence in the messages that she gets and the vibes that she gets off of things. So you're maybe hoping to be confident in some sort of intuitive hit you're getting, or just a more intuitive person. You're hoping for that. You'd like to draw more things to you through your intuition. What's our issue here is we have this Ace of Wands in reverse, of course, because that's where I put the cards that go in. That's the reverse section. Ace of Wands, though. Yeah, I see. You're wanting this Queen of Wands energy to have a lot of confidence in your intuition and in vision, and to be visionary and have a vision for your life. But you're not getting a good intuitive hit here. That's why this is so funny, because this is basically the same message. You're not, because you want this, so that means you're not necessarily living in this right now, this moment. You're not embodying this energy right now. So, and here we have what's at issue, Ace of Wands, reverse Ace of Wands. You're not feeling a strong intuitive hit about a direction you need to go. You're not feeling very creative, or you don't have a new beginning here. There's not a new beginning. You were hoping for some sort of new beginning. I think you have to start it, though. That's what I think is going on here. You might be waiting for something to happen, waiting for something to get going. It's not going yet. You haven't gotten what you wanted yet. You might be seeing it. You might actually do have a vision. But this Ace of Wands we haven't begun that journey yet. We haven't started it yet. It's not you haven't taken the first step yet. We don't have a first move yet, but we do, I think, have a vision, because you're already doing it, and it's saying, oh, just stop overthinking it and just get busy. So in your environment, you have this 5 of Swords card. So here we have this win-win outcome is forecast. The 5 of Swords references a situation that does not appear that there's going to be a win-win situation. And the 5 of Swords is talking about, so in this depiction, it's a little bit diabolical, right? She has to take this piece out of this man, and she has to preserve herself. She has to take something for herself. Is she proud of it? No. But was it necessary? We don't know. It very possibly could be that she had to make a choice. She's not proud of that choice. She's not happy with that choice. But given the circumstances, given the things that she was looking at, it may have been the best choice. So in your environment, it looks like there's a situation where one person's going to lose and one person's going to win, and it's a winner-take-all situation. So it looks like someone may have put you in that situation. You may be feeling that situation, that you're going to have to hurt somebody in order to get what you want. It's not going to, you're looking at something that may not be your proudest moment. You may have to hurt someone to get something that you need. There are moments where we have to do that, they can be very difficult for many of us. Some people live in that, and they're the ones that set that up, where it's a win-lose situation where no one's coming out of here unscathed. It's a difficult, between a rock and a hard place. Some people have an ability to set those up and find that in every situation and create that in every situation they go into. And the rest of us have to deal with that. We'd like to always be finding a win-win outcome. But the situation right now doesn't look like there's going to be. It's forecast. You have a forecast, but right now it could be someone's going to be a loser, someone's going to be a winner. And when it comes down to that, our obligation, and I do believe that when the situation actually is tight like that, we have to choose. We're our own sacred protector, right? We have to protect ourselves. And sometimes there's a moment to sacrifice yourself for something you love, but there's a moment to also not stop sacrificing yourself. And if someone else has to get hurt, that's so be it. That's the way life is. I'm sorry, but you have to take care of yourself sometimes. So this is a situation in which you may not like what that's come up, in which it seems like there's not a good outcome here. There's not a good way for everyone to get what they need. I mean, we're saying though, so these two are at very much odds for me. So I'm going to say the situation looks like it's a no-win situation, between a rock and a hard place, and you're going to have to make some sort of, razor sharp decision. The decision is going to be very, very close, and you may have to do something that you don't like. But this is saying that the win-win outcome is possible. It's not, it maybe just looks like it's a bullshit situation, but it could actually be that everybody can get what they want here. In your to-do list, what you're looking for, the energy you're looking for an opportunity to embody is more how I'm thinking about the to-do list. So the opening you're looking for. What you're looking to accomplish here or do is this Two of Wands energy. Two of Wands is planning, calculating, figuring out. You've just begun some sort of process here. So we have Queen of Wands, Ace of Wands, and now we have Two of Wands. So I think you're already thinking about something. It hasn't really begun, but Two of Wands is making calculations and figuring it out. It is this be bold, make the first move. You're already doing it. You've already gotten step one here further than you might think, but you have to do something. And this is making calculations, figuring something out. How do you do something? How do you get from here to here? How do you get up there to the moon? How you want to go to the moon. This is step 2, right, in our Kabbalah tree of life. And this is dreaming, this is looking at something, and this is making calculations, figuring it out. Okay, I want to go somewhere. What's the cost of the tickets? What are the rules and regulations right now? What kind of suitcase can I bring, and how heavy must it be? It's not necessarily that you're going on a trip, although you could be, but it could be like, what's the information that I need? What do I need to be prepared for? How long is this going to take? And just getting some calculations, dreaming, visioning, and figuring out how this might happen. That's our Two of Wands energy. It's in the Wands we have, sexuality, creativity, intuition, some sort of like, a non-concrete, it's a very non-concrete suit. It's all sort of spiritual, wishy-washy stuff. But Two of Wands is the second step, and that's bringing in some practicality and some planning into the situation. Where you're going, Emperor, power, ruling, control. You might be dealing with an emperor in the future, and that would be a boss. That would be someone who's in charge of a situation and has a lot of power in the situation. But that might also be you. You might be finding your power, finding the power in just being who you are and bringing that into situations unapologetically. Unless you're an asshole, then apologize. But mostly, we're being unapologetically ourselves. We're bringing our truest feelings in. We're talking about them. And it's very empowering in the end, even though it starts from a place of vulnerability. It can be very empowering. So this could be, as you plan and figure out what the steps are, you may be feeling more and more empowered to follow your intuition, to follow your bliss, the thing that's calling you. Or you could be coming into contact, if this is about a job situation, you could be having a boss coming into the future to interact with or deal with or something like that. So having some power, having some say, and having some control and some say in the situation. So the situation looks like maybe you don't have a lot of say and you're stuck sort of dealing with having to pick between a couple of shitty options. That's what it looks like. But with some planning, with some scheming, with some thinking, you could actually end up in a much more powerful position than you originally you're thinking. So, yeah, there's some sort of like, in a way, there's like scheme. This reading had two things, sort of a tension between two ideas, and one was scheming, thinking, planning, and being bold, making the first move, planning things out, figuring things out. But then there's also some tension between that and just being who you are and letting the chips fall where they may. So there's some sort of, I think that's an important tension to balance. And I think actually that's what the Two of Wands talks about, is the intuition and the practicality, the beginning of this intuitive journey, the beginning of something, but also still needing to be practical about it. And so we're not necessarily, we're being very honest, but also understanding what the outcomes could be. We're bringing our truest selves and going towards that, while also understanding that I think it's going to be very empowering for you. But I think there's just some tension between those two concepts here. They're not in opposition. They just are in tension. All right. For the wild Kuan Yin, we have be guided now. Allow yourself to be guided. The guide cannot take the steps for you. That is your job. That's what I'm seeing. Like you're kind of waiting for something else to start, and you've got to do it too. Though you've got to make the moves here. That is your job, but the guide can show you the way. It's up to you if you choose, and this is getting that information and showing the way. It's up to you if you choose to take it, whether you tread carefully, dance, or run along that sacred pathway toward the loving arms of the Holy Mother. She is always there to help you. All right, so, okay, Cancer, I hope that was helpful for you, and I hope you have a wonderful week.